Hey, before we get started with the tutorial, I wanted to give you a heads up that there are over 40 sites you can use with this tutorial. So if you don't like the one I picked, you just pick a different one, and you're off and running with a professionally built 5-page site. All you need to do is customize it, change the font's colors to your need. Here is a preview of all of the different sites you can install today with this tutorial. At the time of this recording, there are 49 free sites, and they're always adding more, so there could be even more than this. The best way to build a foundation is to copy what the professionals use. So in this tutorial, you're going to start with an expert site, and then you're going to learn from there. So I would highly recommend learning that way as opposed to starting from scratch. At the end of this tutorial, you'll have a great foundation to build pretty much any site you want to build. I also wanted to show off the site that I installed for the tutorial so you can get an up close look at it. You can see the layouts are all very professional. The fonts they use are all modern choices, although you can change them any way you want. I usually have a hard time beating the ones they choose though. And you can see that the layouts are done really well. You can also rest easy knowing that all of the sites are fully mobile friendly, so your business site will look amazing whether they're on desktop or mobile, which is absolutely essential these days. This tutorial delivers on two factors: quality and efficiency. It uses downloadable professional templates so you don't have to do everything yourself. Experts have already done a lot of the work for you. All you need to do is customize it, and this tutorial will show you how to take advantage of that. Before we make a website, we need to get hosting. That's the company that stores your website on their server. If you already have hosting, you can skip this section of the video. But an easy way to get hosting is to click the link in the video description. Or if you're on the step-by-step website where I post my free class, if you go to the bottom of the front page, I have some information on the host that I use, Siteground. The granddaddy of all endorsements is that it is recommended by WordPress.org. They recommend 3 hosts, and Siteground is one of them. You also get some information here you can browse. You get a free SSL encryption, which is the padlock in the address bar, which you'll need if you want to just ensure that your business site is encrypted, and you will also get that for free, whereas other hosts charge for that. So if you use my link, it'll take you to Siteground. I paused the video real quick so I could be completely transparent about my link to Siteground. Whether or not you click the link, you will get the exact same service and price to Siteground. So if you just want to thank me for making this tutorial, you can click my link, or if you just want to go directly to Siteground, it'll be the same service and price either way. And they've changed this a little to where if you look at the 3 options, they're kind of all the same when you click on them. So whether you're doing a shop or web hosting or WordPress hosting, it's all the same price. So I'm just going to go ahead and choose WordPress hosting. And you'll see if you have one business website, you'll want to start with this one. You can always upgrade. And if you have aspirations of hosting several websites, you'll probably start with this one and upgrade if you get a lot of traffic. So I'll get this cheapest one. Now I'm going to start a new website, so I'm going to do a new domain. And you'll see I'm just putting in a random domain here because I know Siteground has a 30-day guarantee where I can just get a refund. So that's another reason why you should just go this route. If it's not for you, you can always just get your, before your 30 days is up, you can just get your money back. So I'll hit proceed. And now I'm going to fill out the information about me. And you'll notice here the email and password is the login information that you're going to use to log into Siteground. This is not your WordPress login. This is your Siteground login. So you'll have to save 2 logins for this tutorial. One of them being Siteground, where you pay your bill and stuff like that. And the other one is your WordPress login that we'll set up later. Okay, you can see I'm further down in the form now. I have all of the information here that I'm purchasing. I'm going to go ahead and check this domain privacy, and I'm just going to leave this one alone. So the total is 75 bucks. That's about $6 a month. Pretty good to start out for the first year. I check the boxes and pay now. Yeah, keep in mind, if you want to move your domain, your .com or whatever you got, to a different place after this year, it'll save you some money. You can go to my site to see how to do that. But anyway, we're going to proceed to the customer area. This is the new and improved customer area for Siteground. We're just going to create a site, set up site. You can see here are all your information up here. But we're going to start a new website, and we're just going to create WordPress site. And this is the login and password that you make to log into your WordPress site that I was talking about. So I'll fill that out. Okay, now that I've put in my email and password that I'm going to use, it suggests this. I'm just going to skip that. And now we're installing WordPress. Alright, installation was a success. And you don't need to point your domain because Siteground took care of that for us. But for now, let's go to the right button. Go to Site Tools. Under Site Tools, you see you have these pinned tools. To get more pinned tools, you just click that pencil and check out what tools you want to pin. For now, I'm just going to leave them as is. Before we go to our site, I want to ensure that your padlock is going to work. So let's go ahead and click this menu at the top and then go to Security, SSL Manager. This will take you to managing your padlock settings. Down at the bottom, your site should have a certificate that's active. If you don't have one here, just go ahead and load up your domain and select Let's Encrypt. And then click Get. And that'll install the certificate right here. Okay, and under this certificate, let's make sure we have the right settings. So under Actions, we have Enforce. And on this screen, you'll see you have HTTPS Enforce, and that's toggled on. And then here we have External Links Rewrite Off. That's the correct setting. So make sure that this one's on, this one's off. So let's go to My Account, and we'll go on to logging in. And we have the default WordPress installation. There's nothing here, which is fine. Now we're just going to go ahead and log in to our WordPress site. So at the end of the domain, click /wp-login.php. That's wp-login.php at the end of your domain. And you'll see you get a login box. Okay, once you get your WordPress login, which is your email and password, go ahead and log into your site. And this is the dashboard. This is where all of your settings live for your WordPress site. Go ahead and click on Posts, and you see there's nothing there. Click on Pages. You'll see there's something here of a privacy policy page. as a draft. They provide that to you for free, and a sample page. You can view these things. They just are there to show you how to do certain things. One of my extras is providing a template for privacy and terms and conditions, so you can pick between those. To view your site, you just go here and click Visit Site. But I'm just going to go ahead and delete this, and I'll leave this in here for now. But now we can go ahead and get started with installing the theme and the plugins so that we can install our template sites. Okay, before we install our downloadable site, we need to install the themes and plugins. A lot of the appearance of your site is contributed by the theme, and those downloadable sites require a specific theme. So go to Appearance, Themes, and you'll see we're using some default installation here, but we're going to click Add New and type Astra, A-S-T-R-A. This is the theme that has all of those 40 sites included with them, so we'll go ahead and install that and just activate it right off the bat. Now when you go to your site, you'll see it looks a little different. Sort of a blank slate, but we're going to be installing the stuff to fill it in a bit. Okay, now we have to do the plugins. So go to Plugins. This one's the Optimizer from Siteground. I'll leave that in. Click Add New. Elementor, O-R. This is the page builder that we use. It's also made by the same people that make the Astra theme and the downloadable sites. So all of this stuff is their wonderful creation. Over 3 million installations, so it's obviously well trusted. And one thing about plugins is you need them to be well trusted, well supported by the community, because you're sort of giving the developer, you're sort of opening your site up to their skills, and if they don't know what they're doing, then your site may be vulnerable. So what you want to do is you want to limit your plugins and keep them to the well-trusted ones. So go ahead, install now, activate. Okay, go back to plugins. What's next? Astra starter sites. Astra starter is all you need. Here is the one that I was telling you about, where there's a growing library of free sites. Install now. Activate. Next, I'm going to do an under construction page. It's optional. Add new. Type under construction. Install now. Activate. Next, I'm going to do a form builder that the starter sites use. WP Forms. No spaces. WP Forms right here. That'll allow you to do your contact form and stuff like that. And go back to plugins. And lastly, I'm going to install the old classic editor, because right now we're using Gutenberg. It uses blocks and a page builder. But if you just want to crank out a blog post that looks like a word processor format, you can use the classic editor for that. This is optional. Type classic. Here it is right here. Install now. Activate. That just gives you the option to use the word processor type blogging format instead of the page builder Gutenberg. Alright, so now we have our plugins. I want to show you how to do under construction. You'll see up at the top it's red. You just flip that toggle and now your visitors will see the under construction. You can still see everything, because you're an admin. So when you go to your site, even when it's under construction, it says you're whitelisted. So you can see all your pages, but your visitors can't. Now I'll go back to the dashboard. Don't forget to turn your under construction off when you're done with everything. And lastly, when you have under construction on, you would log in with the same way that you did before. You would just go to your domain and you would type wp-login.php. Also note there are optional sections for the backup plugin and the security plugin. Now we're ready to check out the downloadable sites. One last thing I wanted to do before we install the downloadable site, and that is change the name of our website. So to do that, we're going to go to Appearance, Customize. The Customizer is where you can customize a lot of the options on your theme. The header, the certain options that the theme provides. So this will come in handy once we install the downloadable site. To change the name of our site, you could just click this little pencil here or go through the settings, header, site identity, add your logo, scroll down a little bit, site title, business site, and I'm going to display the title. I'm going to get rid of the tagline and I'm going to commit the changes. Hit the X to get out of that, and now you see your site is named that instead of my WordPress site. Now we can finally get going with the downloadable sites. Okay, if you made it this far in the tutorial, you'll be so glad you did, because now we're finally going to install the downloadable site. We're going to go to Appearance and Astra Starter Sites here. Choose your page builder, Elementor. And now we're going to click on the Free tab. And you'll see there's 49 sites available. You can click any of these sites to browse them and install them right now. You'll see it requires a certain amount of settings here. Here's where you browse the site, click a page, check it out. You get all of the stock photos, all of the fonts and the colors import. Click X to get out. So we're going to browse these sites, and then I'm going to settle on this one here, Outdoor Adventure. Going to preview that. You'll see it asks you if you want to import everything, and I'm going to do that. And so now I'm going to just go ahead and import the site. When it imports the site, it's going to import any additional plugins that it needs. I know the blog page used a plugin to create a nice layout, so it's going to import any additional plugins. Okay, import complete. You can view site, or you can get out of the plugin. Let's view our site that was just imported. By the way, the first time I viewed my site, the browser had the old WordPress installation cached, so it ended up looking real strange. If that happens to you and your starter site doesn't look good, just go to the dashboard, clear your browser history, and then come back. Or just hit visit site a couple times and reload it in your screen, and hopefully that'll take care of that. So we can see that the import was successful. You get all the stock photos, just got to change the text, colors, stuff like that. We're going to do the email contact form, and yeah, you'll see it was a pretty good success. Now we just have to go about editing this, and we're going to go ahead and go through that next. One quick thing happened on the import that I didn't anticipate, and that is that the block editor's disabled. It must have happened when I installed the classic editor plugin. So to get your custom blog layout that they made for you, you need to enable the block editor. So go to the link and just reselect block editor. You can still use the classic editor anytime you want to write a simple blog post, but the block editor is what's required there so that you get your blog page looking nice. Save changes at the bottom, and we're moving on. Okay, let's go ahead and see what we got when we imported these starter sites. If you look at your posts, there should be some fake posts to show you how they created these blog posts. You click View, and you get a layout of what they created. Note these posts were created in the Gutenberg block editor that comes with WordPress. I'm not a big fan of it just yet, so I show you how to make a blog page using the classic editor in the other section. Nonetheless, you may like the block editor and choose to use it for all your blog posts. So the posts are the things that go in your blog. It's how you keep your customers up to date. On the other hand, the pages are the things in the menu that are always available. So if you look at the pages, these are the pages that are in the menu. And it says Elementor, meaning it was created in Elementor. This one's the front page, designated front page. So all of these were created in Elementor, and to view them, you would just click View, and then we're going to edit in Elementor to change all of the stuff in the next lesson. Here's the blog page. You can see that that wasn't created in Elementor, so it was created with the block editor. You click View, and you see all of the blog posts that were under the posts section. So also we can look at the media, and we can see all of the stock photos that were imported into the site. So when you are ready to make your own pages, you would just get your photos, drag them into your media, and then they'll be ready to use when you make new pages or change your pages. I'm going to go to the dashboard, so I'll hit the 3 lines, exit to dashboard, and I'm not going to save any changes. Now I already have the photo on my desktop. I got it from Unsplash. It's a free, royalty-free photo source. The other place to get these types of photos is Pexels. So before I upload it to my site at the Media tab and drag it on there, I'm going to double click it, and whether you use a PC or a Mac, this takes up more screen than I wished, but if I go to Tools, Adjust Size, you'll see that it's 4600 pixels wide, and that will take a long time to load as a background photo for your site. So before I upload it, I'm just going to adjust it to 1600, and that will compress it to where as a background photo I'm not really that concerned about it. So I'm going to save it again, and now I'm going to drag it and drop it on here. Okay, once you upload your photos to your media, then we'll go back to the home page, edit with Elementor. Now we're going to edit the photo in the background of the section. So edit section, style, here's the photo, add it in, and change the title. And now it's looking like more like a totally different site with different photos. I got this photo from a royalty-free site. You would probably use photos for your own business, but what was I going to show you? Oh, if you want to make this a video, let's edit the section again. And this time, instead of the classic, go to background video. And I already searched for a video here. So I'm just going to copy the link. If you upload a video yourself, you have control as to whether or not they allow embedding. If you just use someone else's that allows embedding, if they take it down, then obviously it'll just fall back to the photo. So paste the link here. And then I'm going to do a start time of 24 seconds, end time of 43 seconds, and we'll see if it allows embedding, and it does. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust the background overlay so it's not quite so dark. But you know, that's a nice way to get some movement on your site. This will only work for desktop. For mobile, it's gonna fall back to the image. So under here, background, use this background fallback and make sure you put in your regular image there so that mobile users and stuff like that will get your background photo. Click update, and now you've got a totally different looking site just by adjusting some of the photos or putting a background video. And one more thing regarding your background, like if you have a section here and you want to change the background color, you're just going to edit section, style, color right here. So you could adjust this any way you want, and then just click the picker when you're done. If I messed it up, I'll just go back to the way it was. Next thing I want to do is ensure that your contact form is working and it's set up correctly. So if you are in your dashboard, we'll go to WP Forms. That's the plugin that does the contact forms. And your starter site probably imported an example form here. If you want to look at it, you would just click Edit, and you'll see here's a very simple contact form. You can adjust those or leave it as is. And now over here is the short code that you're going to need. So go ahead and copy that, the entire thing, and then you're going to go to the page where the contact form lives, which is the contact page. Edit with Elementor. And you'll see over here on the side we have this form, but if you click on it, we have a short code, and it does indeed have the correct short code. That's what we copied. So if we hit paste, you'll see it's pasting the exact same form. So this is what it uses to talk to WordPress to tell it to put in that form. So the short code widget, if you're doing it from scratch, you would go over here to the widgets and you would go down to the short code. Where is it? Right here. Drag it on and you'll see it's blank. You edit that and then you paste it in and you got your form. That's basically how you set it up. It's when someone fills this out, make sure you test it, fill it out yourself, and see how it works. It might go to your junk folder, so you got to go to your junk folder, and then you would have to say this isn't junk, and then you'll be receiving those in your inbox as they come in if someone fills it out. You can also get it to send to a different email address. If you look at the WP form settings, you'll be able to do that. Oops, let me go back. I'm just going to go back to when editing started, and I'm just going to leave it at that. Oh, don't forget to turn off your under construction plugin, and make sure you check out the fonts and colors and making new content for helpful hints. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and get started with editing our pages. So if you're in your dashboard, go to your pages, and now we're going to edit the home page. So click Edit with Elementor, and that loads up the Elementor page builder. By the way, if your Elementor doesn't load, I made a video about ways you can troubleshoot that so that it loads well. Now that it's loaded, we see the settings over here and the site over here. To edit any of the widgets, you just click it and then you edit the text over here. To get more CSS styles and stuff regarding this widget, I would just click the Style tab, and here you have text color, typography, stuff like that. Anytime you want to duplicate a widget or move a widget, you just right click, duplicate, and then you can drag it by clicking that and just drag it anywhere you want. Anytime you want to duplicate an entire section, you'll see that your site is made up of these big blue sections, and within them there are columns. And so if you want to duplicate this whole section, you just right click the section, duplicate, get rid of some of the stuff, drag this new section, this new quote box somewhere, and you can duplicate a section, you can duplicate the individual widgets. To access the widgets, it's this little grid up here, and you just drag it onto your site. And again, you would edit that, click Style, change the color again to white, what have you. I'm going to delete that. You'll see here that this section has a background photo for it. So to change that, you would right click, edit section, go to Style. There's the photo there. You'll also note that the attachment is fixed. That's how the photo doesn't scroll. You'll notice that the photo stays fixed. So keep an eye on these settings here if you want it fixed or want it normal. What else? To get this text to pop out, not only is there a background photo, there's a background overlay. A little trick so that your text is visible is to do a background overlay, choose a color, and then adjust the opacity here. So you can put pretty much any photo you want with a background overlay, and then you can do the adjustments that you want here. I'm very big on templates, so like I said, if in the beginning you're a little overwhelmed, you may want to just click on each section, click on each widget, and just adjust them as they are, and just adjust the text and the photos, because these templates were laid out professionally. You don't have to worry about how they'll look on mobile, blah blah blah. So in the beginning, if you just click on each one and just kind of keep things as they are, you'll be in very good shape to produce a quality site. If I want to duplicate this section for another page on my site, say in my services page, I really like this layout. Well, let's just save this whole section by right-clicking, Save as Template. And now I have to name it Services Box, or whatever you want to call it. And now it's saved to your library. And then when you get to your other page, you would just do a new section. That opens this area up, and then you click the folder here. Go to My Templates, and then put it in there. You'll also note that you can create a new section right there in between any section. So if you want a 3-column, just hit the plus, click a 3-column, and then drag your widgets in there. But you can see that we already have, nice stuff, so we don't really need to do it this way. Plus, the button is gray and stuff like that, so just duplicate the button here, duplicate, and then just drag it to where you want it. That's what I would recommend doing, just duplicating things, dragging them in. I highly recommend you check out the fonts and colors optional one, because that will show you how to reset these fonts globally. You don't want to reset the font on every single box. See how if I don't like this font, but you want it to be consistent throughout the site. So if you duplicate, or if you edit heading and then you go to style, sure, you can adjust the family here, but you'll have to adjust the family for all of them. So don't do that. Go to the video and I'll show you how to do that globally in the customizer settings. And then the other thing is that you want to set up your palette so that your color schemes are easily set, so that you can do all of your colors consistently and you don't have to struggle with that. So that one video is really helpful, and the other videos too. I mean, they go on specific topics and show you how to do things. This is just the basic crash course, and I'm going to leave it up to you to investigate further. Oh, one last thing I wanted to show you was these settings down here at the bottom. If you messed up and you need to go back, just click the History tab, and you can go back to the step where you messed up. I'll go all the way back to where editing started, and it'll load from the very beginning of when I loaded the site. You can also switch to earlier revisions if you want to go back to yesterday's revision, for example. So after you do that, click Update, and you will be able to just go back to where you started. Another thing is right here at the bottom, click on Responsive Mode, and you'll be able to see how your site appears on mobile. And these sites were well done for mobile, optimized for mobile, so they look beautiful on mobile. That's one of the reasons why I like these templates. They look amazing, whether it's desktop or mobile. And these days, you know, over 50% of your visits will probably be on mobile. So make sure you take a peek at your site under mobile, and we'll be moving on to the next step. And to get out of the Elementor page builder, click these three lines up here, exit to dashboard.